Welcome to my channel. Today we will explore the summary, analysis and key themes of Shakespeare's Macbeth. The play is set in Scotland during a time of war. King Duncan is fighting against the King of Norway. Macbeth, one of Duncan's generals, proves his bravery in battle by defeating a rebel named MacDonald, who had supported the enemy. Duncan is very pleased with Macbeth's loyalty and courage. At the same time, Duncan learns that the Thane of Cawdor had betrayed him. As punishment, Duncan orders his execution and decides to give his title to Macbeth. On their way home from the battlefield, Macbeth and his friend Banquo meet three witches. The witches make strange prophecies. They tell Macbeth that he will become Thane of Cawdor and later King of Scotland. They also tell Banquo that his sons will become kings, though Banquo himself will not. Soon after, two noblemen, Ross and Angus, arrive and announce that Macbeth has been made the new Thane of Cawdor. This makes Macbeth think seriously about becoming king. King Duncan later announces that he will visit Macbeth's castle. Macbeth informs his wife about the witches' prophecies. Lady Macbeth becomes excited and determined to make the prophecy come true. She calls upon dark powers to make her strong and ruthless. When Macbeth returns home, Lady Macbeth convinces him that Duncan must be murdered and promises to plan everything. Before killing Duncan, Macbeth sees a vision of a bloody dagger pointing towards the king's room. When Lady Macbeth signals him, Macbeth goes and murders Duncan while his guards are asleep. After the murder, Macbeth is terrified and guilt-ridden. He brings the bloody daggers back with him, but Lady Macbeth scolds him and places them back on the guards herself. She believes that washing away the blood will remove their guilt. Soon after, Macduff discovers Duncan's body. Macbeth kills the guards, pretending it was done out of anger and grief. Duncan's sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, fear they might be killed next, so they flee the country. Because of their escape, they are suspected of the crime. Macbeth is then crowned King of Scotland. Now King Macbeth worries about Banquo because the witches predicted that Banquo's sons would rule. To stop this, Macbeth hires murderers to kill Banquo and his son Fleance. Banquo is killed, but Fleance escapes. At the royal banquet, Banquo's ghost appears to Macbeth, terrifying him. Lady Macbeth tries to hide his strange behavior, but the guests begin to suspect something is wrong. Macbeth decides to visit the witches again to learn more about his future. Meanwhile, many Scottish nobles begin to turn against him, and Macduff joins Malcolm in England to plan an attack on Macbeth. The witches show Macbeth three visions. One warns him to beware of Macduff. The second tells him that no man born of a woman can harm him. The third says he will not be defeated until Birnam Wood moves to his castle. Feeling safe, Macbeth believes he cannot be defeated. However, the witches also show him a line of kings descendant from Banquo. To secure his power, Macbeth orders the murder of Macduff's wife and children. This act shows how cruel and heartless he has become. Lady Macbeth begins to suffer from sleepwalking. She repeatedly tries to wash imaginary blood from her hands, revealing her guilt. Macbeth, now focused on war, ignores her suffering. Soon, Lady Macbeth dies, and Macbeth reflects on how empty and meaningless life feels. As Malcolm's army approaches, they use branches from Birnam Wood to hide their numbers, making it seem as if the forest is moving. Macbeth realizes the witch's prophecy is coming true. In the final battle, Macbeth fights bravely but is confronted by Macduff, who reveals that he was born by surgery, not of woman born. Macbeth is defeated and killed. Malcolm becomes the new king, restoring peace to Scotland. One of the most important themes in Macbeth is ambition and power. Macbeth begins the play as a brave and loyal soldier, but his strong desire to become king slowly takes control of him. The witches planned this idea of power in his mind, and this ambition pushes him to murder King Duncan. Once he gains the crown, his hunger for power only grows stronger. Instead of bringing him satisfaction, ambition turns him into a cruel tyrant and brings destruction not only to himself but to all of Scotland. Closely connected to ambition is the theme of appearance versus reality. Throughout the play, things are never what they seem. The witch's famous line, "Fair is foul and foul is fair," sets the tone. Characters hide their true intentions behind polite words and friendly faces. Macbeth pretends to be loyal while planning murder, and Lady Macbeth appears welcoming while plotting evil. This constant deception creates confusion and mistrust, making it difficult to tell who is honest and who is dangerous. As Macbeth's crime increases, the theme of guilt becomes more powerful. After killing Duncan, both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are mentally tortured by what they have done. Macbeth sees visions such as Banquo's ghost, which reflect his inner fear and regret. Lady Macbeth, who once seemed fearless, begins sleepwalking and imagines blood on her hands. Their guilt shows that evil actions leave deep psychological scars that cannot simply be washed away. The plot is also strongly influenced by the supernatural. The witches and their prophecies drive the story forward and shape Macbeth's decisions. Their mysterious powers raise important questions about destiny and free will. Are the witches controlling Macbeth's future, or are they only revealing possibilities that he chooses to act upon? The supernatural creates an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, suggesting the presence of dark forces at work. Another major theme is loyalty and betrayal. At the beginning, Macbeth is loyal to King Duncan, but his ambition leads him to betray both his king and his close friend Banquo. In contrast, characters like Banquo, Macduff, and Malcolm remain loyal to Scotland. The play shows how betrayal breaks trust and leads to chaos, while loyalty becomes the foundation for restoring order. The theme of masculinity and gender also plays an important role. Lady Macbeth challenges traditional ideas of manhood by telling Macbeth that real men are bold and ruthless. She questions his masculinity to push him toward murder. However, the play later suggests that true strength lies in honesty, courage, and moral integrity, not violence or cruelty. Finally, Macbeth explores the struggle between faith and free will. The witches' prophecies make Macbeth believe his future is fixed, but it is his own choices that lead him to ruin. The play suggests that while fate may open certain doors, it is human action that decides the outcome. Together, these themes show how unchecked ambition, deception, and moral weakness can destroy both individuals and entire nations. In the end, Macbeth shows us how unchecked ambition can corrupt the mind, poison relationships, and destroy an entire kingdom. Through guilt, deception, the supernatural, and the struggle between fate and free will, Shakespeare reminds us that our choices, more than destiny, shape who we become. Macbeth's rise and fall is not just a story of power, but a warning about what happens when moral limits are crossed. If this breakdown helped you understand Macbeth more clearly, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more in-depth explainers.